Hello, everybody. Waylon Chavez here. I want to thank you for joining today in today's online training where we're going to turn your rent payments into home ownership. Presented by myself, Waylon Chavez. So let's get started. So we are on time today. Today's agenda is we're going to go over is who is Waylon Chavez. Number two, the difference between owning and renting in Albuquerque. Three, first-time homebuyer programs in Albuquerque. And then four, a step-by-step process of buying your first home. And then we're going to finish it off with a Q&A. That way we make sure all your questions are answered. And we're also going to give you a chance to book a one-on-one appointment with myself to go over your situation specifically. That way we know and we can address who you are and what your situation is, and we can address your challenges, whatever they may be. So let's get started. My name is Waylon Chavez. I'm an owner and broker of ABQ Premier Properties. Since I've been in real estate since 2006 and owned ABQ Premier Properties since 2008. Have helped hundreds of families over the years with home ownership, whether they're buying, selling, or investing. I'm born and raised in Albuquerque. Still go to local church here. Everything that happens here, when you use my company and you use our company, the money stays here. It's not some out of town franchise that you pay out of town to some global company. We are local. We love local. We support local, and everything we do, we actually help get local customers and vendors for our clients. My passion is for helping clients navigate the home buying and selling process, and it's made me a recognized leader here in the Albuquerque real estate. That being said, I've also spoken at national conferences for the National Association of Realtors, for the Council of Residential Specialists. I'm on some boards for the City of Albuquerque that I've been appointed to by the Albuquerque City Council and through the Bernalillo County Commission. So when I say I'm vested, it's not just about buying or selling a house with us. We're actually vested in our communities. And I say we because it's me, my wife, and my son, and also I have a few agents that work for us. So we're all born here locally, raised here locally, and invested in our community. So we have a vested interest to help people and to build home ownership throughout the city and throughout the state. Now, the difference between owning and renting in Albuquerque. The average rent for a 3-bedroom house in Albuquerque generally falls between $1,800 to $2,200 range, with recent data from early 2025 showing averages around $2,109 for a house. So a 3-bedroom house in Albuquerque, you could expect a typical mortgage payment to be roughly between $1,800 and $2,700 monthly, depending heavily on the home sales price, likely around $300 to $400K for a 3-bedroom house, and current interest rates around 6 to 7%. And that being said, when you go from renting to owning, it is going to be a little bit more expensive just because you are in turn paying for your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes. But the good thing about that is you're paying it anyway on rent. But with the thing about owning is you actually get to deduct those on your taxes every single year. So you gain more tax deductions just by owning a home. You get to deduct your property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, and your interest that you've paid from your mortgage company. So that's another benefit that's going to put you that you can't do with renting. Your landlord can, but you can't because you're paying his property taxes, you're paying their homeowners insurance policy and the interest on their mortgage. So they get to claim all that and benefit from appreciation, but you don't. You just get to pay that mortgage for them. So that's one of the benefits of owning a home in Albuquerque. Now I want to share with you, let's do the math. I'm going to show you $2,250 a month. Rent monthly times 12 months equals $27,000 a year times 5 years is $135,000 paid to your landlord, and you have nothing to show for it. So the thing about it is, well, let's go over number two. Take that same amount on principal in your home, and you would have went down. That $135,000 would have went down. Plus, you would have gained 3 to 4% appreciation each of those years, and you don't get that from renting. So when you're renting, you're paying $27,000 a year, $135,000 over 5 years. Your landlord's mortgage is going down. His appreciation is going up. He's gaining the wealth and the tax benefits all while on your back and your hard-earned money. And the other thing about that too is when you are paying that, your rent is likely to go up on a yearly basis, whereas his mortgage payment is probably not. So he probably has a fixed rate interest mortgage. That way his payment stays the same. So he's just profiting more every year off of your back, and you're gaining nothing off it. He's getting the tax benefits, he's getting the appreciation, and he's getting the wealth from it and off of your back, and you're not paying nothing. So think about that. In 5 years, you could have paid $135,000 down on a mortgage versus paying it for your landlord. So think about that. And I want you to ask, there's questions, there's a chat box, put your questions in there. Please don't hesitate to put a question in there. I will answer questions. We can chat at the end. But I want to get through this so I can show you guys just how important it is just to own by owning a home, and how easy it is to own a home. Now, what I want to go over is first-time home buyer programs in Albuquerque. So the first one we look at here is First Home. It's a first mortgage loan for low to moderate income first-time buyers, allowing financing for any single-family home. So, that's where we come in, and we use a lot of this from the New Mexico Mortgage Finance Authority, and they'll give you money to get into this home. And the first down is a second mortgage, providing down payment and closing cost assistance used with the first home. So the first two go together, but what you could also do is we could cover just the down payment and ask the seller to cover your closing costs. That way you don't have a second loan. On a second mortgage. That way you're better off that way. We take each situation differently, and we take each unique situation and see what's best for the person. So this is not a one size fit all. So I want to encourage you to set up an appointment with me, and I will put that link in the chat here in a few. And then the First Down Plus program is an additional $15,000 second mortgage, 0 interest rate, and it's forgiven over 10 years for more help with down payment and when using the First Home program. So what that is, it gives you an additional $15,000 at 0 interest, and it's forgiven if you stay in the property for 10 years. So think about it. That's a free $15,000. And the good thing about it is if you do stay in your property 10 years, and what I usually tell people too is your first home is not your final home. We need to get you into a first home. That may not be your dream home, but we need to use it. That way you can stay in there and use the tax benefits when you go to sell it as leverage to buy your dream home. So if you had an additional $15,000 on the second mortgage at 0% interest, and you stayed in your home 10 years, that $15,000 is forgiven. You owe nothing on it. But the good thing about this is every year appreciation goes up and your balance will go down. On average, appreciation on homes goes up 3 to 4% a year, and in good years, sometimes 5 to 6. But I like to be conservative. So think about in your home, and it's gone up 3.5% a year for 10 years. It's appreciated by that much equity. You've paid down 10 years of principal. And say you want to sell that house in 10 years, you can go and sell that house. And as a single person, you can take up to $250,000 tax-free and put that into your new home. Now, if you're married, you could take up to $500,000 tax-free and put that into your new home. You don't have to claim it on your taxes. You don't have to report it, anything. It's tax-free money. Now, Tammy, where are you going to get that with rent? There's no way you can do that with rent. But let me tell you something. Your landlord is doing it, and you're paying for it. So think about it. Why don't you invest in yourself and start doing it on your own? So now there's another one. It's called Home Now. It's a deferred 0 interest second mortgage up to $7,000 for down payment, closing costs forgivable over 10 years. And it's also used with the first home. So these are just a few programs that we have. We also have conventional. We also have, there's conventional loans for first-time home buyers. And a lot of people don't know that. They think when they think of conventional, they think you got to put 20% down. And that's absolutely not true. It just depends on your situation, what's going to serve you better, how we can get you in the lowest amount possible. And what we usually do is we get people in between $2,500 and $3,000, and sometimes they even get a rebate on that. So that's why we want you to book a call with me so we can actually get you into that program and see what's actually best for you. So I'm going to put here in the chat, I'm going to put a link to my calendar, and if you want, you can you can schedule an appointment there. It's going to be a Zoom appointment, so we don't have to meet in person. We can meet in person, but it's a Zoom appointment. It'll be a 15-minute appointment where we talk, we assess your situation, and we see the right way for you and what the right avenue is for you at this time. And a lot of people think, well, I don't have any credit. A lot of times, no credit is better than bad credit. And even if you have bad credit, we can put you in a program to get you through the process and get you approved. So it's better to start early than late. Now we're going to look at a step-by-step process for buying your first home. So the first thing we're going to do is set up a one-on-one appointment with me, and that is in your chat. If you go to the chat, there's a link there. You can set up an appointment. What we're going to do is we're going to go over your goals and situation to see how best to serve you. Like I've been saying, each situation is different. Everybody's different. You may be single, you may be married, you may have rented for a while, you may be buying your first home, you may be needing to sell a home. So every situation is different. That's why we want to meet with you one-on-one personally, so then you can we know how to address the situation and how to better serve you. So let me see here. So that being said, then I will connect you with one of our trusted lenders that will best suit your needs. We have a team. When you come to us at ABQ Premier Properties and myself, Wade and Chavez, we have a team of vendors that's going to help you. So that way you're not out there trying to find a lender, home inspectors, credit repair people, anything like that. When you come to us, we're basically a one-stop shop that you can actually we can refer you to trusted people that's going to best suit your situation, and we know it's going to be taken care of. The next part is when once approved, what's going to happen is I'm going to sit down with you to create a wish list for your homes and search homes that fit your needs. So what that means is we're going to sit down. You're going to tell me what you want. It's going to be 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. Sometimes you're going to want a townhome. Is it going to be single family, and why you want this? And then we're going to we're going to go back to saying this is your first home, not your final home. So we're going to go back and see what best suits your needs at this time. So that way we can best serve you. Then what we're going to do is we're going to search MLS, which I have access to all the properties, even if it has somebody else's sign in front of it. Think about it. If it has that person's sign in front of it, they're working for that seller, not for you. So that's why you want to get somebody like me to work in your best interest. We're going to pull everything that fits your needs, and then we're going to start eliminate, because what we don't want you to do is we don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything. So we're going to discuss your situation, your needs, and we're going to create a wish list from there. And then what we're going to do is myself or one of my team members will go out with you and tour homes with you once we narrow it down to the top 5 or 7. We're going to base it off neighborhoods, areas, convenience, price, and features. And that way we can better serve you, and you're where you want to be. And then that way, once we do that, it's going to be myself or one of my team members that's going to take you out, and that's going to actually tour the homes with you, answer any questions you may have, give you the benefits, features of the home, give you additional information on each home. Then what we're going to do is once you select a home, myself or my team, we're going to write up an offer and negotiate with the other real estate agent. So that takes a lot of time too. And a lot of people think they can do this on your home and on their own. And what I tell them is, would you perform your heart surgery on yourself just to save money? No. So you want to hire a professional to do this for you, because a lot goes into this. We got to write up a purchase agreement that our lawyers write up. We got to make sure all disclosures are taken care of. Just like, for example, if the home is built before 1978, we need what's called a lead-based paint disclosure. And if you try to do this on your own, or you try to go with a for sale by owner, and they miss this, you just open yourself, or they open themselves up for litigation, because there could be lead-based paint in that home that could really affect you and your health and the health of your children. So that's why you want to hire us and a professional. And what we do is we're going to negotiate the terms with the other agent. And once we negotiate the terms, then you'll be under contract. Once your offer is accepted, we will provide it to the lender, the title company, and proceed to the closing process. And then what we do from there is, once that takes place, myself or my team, and we have a transaction coordinator here, will order inspections. We're going to negotiate repairs on your behalf and ensure you are informed throughout the process. So what I tell my people is there's usually three negotiations within one home. The first time is negotiation on price and terms when you like the home. The second one is on inspections, because when we get a home inspector in there, we want to make sure everything's taken care of, from plumbing, heating, cooling, air conditioning, windows, structure. That way you're taken care of. When you move in, you're not having to dump hundreds of thousands or even thousands of dollars into this new home. So what we do is we get a home inspector to go in, take a look at the property, we review the report and see what the highest valuable items are for us to ask the sellers to fix. And then we also provide you, we ask them for a home warranty. And what that does is covers your major issues like plumbing, heating, cooling for 1 year after you purchase the home. So, trying to do this on your own is kind of hard and over consuming, especially if you don't know what you're doing. That's why you hire us as a professional to do this for you. So the first negotiation would be on price and terms. The second would be on inspections, and the third would be on appraisal. Because say we negotiate at a price and say we all agree to 350,000, but then the appraiser goes in there and says, "Well, according to this and based on my expertise, the home is only worth 345,000." Well, that being said, the bank is not going to lend if you're approved for 350,000. And the appraisal comes in at 345, the bank is not going to lend any more money than that appraised value. So we're going to have to renegotiate there, either to come down on the price, or you're going to have to come up with $5,000. And 9 times out of 10, the seller will reduce their price to get the home sold. But the other thing with appraisals too is the appraiser could come back with repairs and say we need the gutters redone, or the water's not working in a certain bathroom, the dishwasher's not working, we need some part of the house repainted, we need a window pane replaced. So that's what you hire us for, is to walk you through the process, guide you, and serve you in the best possible way. That way when you move in, it's a happy and enjoyable experience, not one where you're calling us back and saying, this is going wrong with the house, this is going wrong with the house, we're going to take care of all that before you close. And then the next step would be a tenant closing with you as you sign your new home. So, and that's the happy time. When we go through all this all takes about 30 to 45 days to get into, with everything taken care of. And what we like to do is we love to hand you your keys into your brand new home after that process, because it's going to take us, like I said, between 30 and 45 days to get everything taken care of. But the process does go by fast, and we have a great team of people that are going to be in the process with us that we've built up over the years. Now I want to be up for any Q&A. I'm going to check the chat and see if there's any Q&A in there. But also what I want to do is the next steps is click the link in the chat to schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting with me. And then 2, comment in the chat who else needs to see this presentation with their name and phone number. We want to reach as many people as we can. For us here at ABQ Premier Properties, it's not about selling, it's about serving. So we want to educate. We're about education. We think if people are educated, they make better informed decisions. So if you know somebody, you have a family member, a friend, or a coworker, please drop their name in the chat or send it to me privately. Either way, it's going to work. And here's my contact information right now, and that's me, Waylon Chavez. And I want to thank you all for joining. But please go to the chat, schedule that Zoom meeting, and I look forward to helping and serving you as much as we can and getting you into your new home. Thank you for joining us today. Please be on the lookout for our other upcoming webinars, because we're going to do these about twice a month. That way people are educated. They're not going to be on the same topics, but we want to keep people educated. That way they make better decisions throughout their real estate buying, selling, or investing journey. Again, I'm Waylon Chavez with ABQ Premier Properties. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you.